do is give a really quick lesson on how to solve problems with more than one operation. For example, if we come up with a question like this that looks really tricky, well, how do we go about solving this problem? And where do we start first? Well, basically a long time ago, a group of really brainy, clever mathematicians came up with a rule for solving problems with more than one operation. You might know it as BODMAS, and this is what it means. When we solve a problem like this, we always start with the brackets first. Anything in the brackets is the first step. Our next step is then to solve anything that has orders. And we can think of these as anything that is a square number or a square root of a number. For example, here we have 5 squared. That would need to be solved next. After we've solved brackets and orders, we then move on to dividing and multiplying. Anywhere there is divide or multiply, we solve that problem. These hold an equal value, so anywhere there is divide and multiply, we just work from left to right. Once we've solved all the brackets, orders, multiplication and division, we can then simply do addition and subtraction. Again, these rank equally, so we can just solve this from left to right. So, remember, brackets first, then orders, then we multiply and divide, and then addition and subtraction. So, let's do an example. Say we have a question like 3 plus 6 in brackets multiplied by 2. Okay, let's go through this process. Brackets. We have brackets in this problem, so they must be solved first. So 3 plus 6 is 9. Okay, there are no orders in this problem, but there is a multiplication or divide. So our next step, now that we've solved the brackets, there are no orders, 9 multiplied by 2 is 18. And 18 is the answer to this problem. Okay, so let's try something a bit trickier. Let's say we have a question like our original question, which was 7 plus 6 times 5 squared plus 3. Now, this looks pretty tricky, but let's go through our order of operations. Our first step is to solve anything that has brackets. Now, within the brackets, there are also some mixed operations, and I can see in here that there is a squared number, an order, and that needs to be solved first. So, our problem now becomes 7 plus 6 multiplied by 25, 5 squared is 25, add 3, and that's our next step. We're still working within brackets, but we've solved our orders. Next we have a multiplication problem. Okay, so 7 plus, we're still in the brackets, 6 multiplied by 25 is 150 plus 3. Okay, there's no more divide and multiply, so our next step is to move on to addition and subtraction. But we're still working within the brackets first. So 7 plus 150 plus 3 is 153. Okay, we've solved everything in the brackets, and now we can simply go back to addition. 7 plus 153 is 160. And that's how you solve a problem with mixed operations.